Hi, Vista viewers. It's JaNae again for another episode of Above the Fold. Today with me, I have Mary Bixler. She is one of the directors of the Local Food Summit, which was in its second year here at UCO this year. So thanks for being here with me today, Mary. I'm so excited.
Thanks for having me, JaNae.
All right, so let's get started with some takeaways from this year's Local Food Summit. I know it was the second annual summit. Turnout compared to the first year, was it bigger? Was it better? Was it the new and improved?
It definitely was, and I'm glad that you mentioned that because that was something that was really, really empowering last year. And even from the first inaugural Local Food Summit that we did, we were surprised to see how much support came from the event because, we were just a couple students putting it on and, had to kind of pool our resources. And we were really surprised at the crowd that it drew out. But we also were pretty limited in some of our press and some promotion of the first year. And this year, we capped out at 150. So we had gotten enough money from Stellar and Chartwell's in-kind donations to host a free event for 150 people. And we had to shut down registration because we filled up. And we even had people come that didn't register, which we were luckily able to we had a little bit of room to move a little bit. But we were so excited to see so many people. And I think the coolest thing that came from this year was that there were significantly more students, UCO students, and community members and people that were coming from other off-campus organizations and other universities. And that just shows us that this movement is something that, is not just happening at UCO, and people all around our community and at other universities are wanting to see changes made in this regard. And it was really, really exciting to see so many people together.
That's awesome. Okay, so you talked a little bit about the community involvement. So let's talk about that a little more. Your keynote this year was City Councilwoman for Oklahoma City, Nikki Nice, who is in charge of Ward 7. And so her ward is an area that is considered a food desert, and I know that's a big part of where this whole food insecurity conversation comes in.
Right.
So talk a little bit about, now that you guys have had some time to work with her a little bit, are you planning to continue working with her moving forward and helping to educate people? What's the plan with that now?
Right. And I'm glad you brought that up because that is a really big push for out of our Edmond and campus community, right? And that was one of the main impetus for this event was to talk about how this is not just something on our campus, but really something that the entire state is needing advancements in. And Councilwoman Nice brought so much perspective on kind of food and food security as a social issue and quite a chronic social issue, which was something that at the first summit we didn't really get to talk as much as we wanted to about food insecurity and how it's just a larger social issue and much more complex than when we're just talking about food. And so our keynotes in the year prior were folks who worked on the Oklahoma Food Cooperative or Urban Agrarian or at other more kind of producer type information. So to have her come in and talk about this on somewhat of a macro scale and really talk about all the different pieces of this conversation was huge, I think, to how much support and what people took away from the event. So when we were talking with Councilwoman Nice afterwards, she was just really, really blown away by the event, really, and talked about how, it wasn't really her background, sustainability and food, but how she kind of alluded to in her keynote that this kind of position that she's had to take on food security was really put on her, by her community. And I think that's kind of a testament to this whole movement, right? Is we're just kind of navigating and trying to make changes where we see they're possible. And I think she was such a great proponent of that. So we've talked more about doing more events with her, kind of using that lens to look at food, not only as like, a basic fundamental, how are we meeting our nutritional needs and how are we accessing food, but that this is a bigger social issue and is really, really prevalent in Oklahoma because of how much hunger there is and how much lack of access there is, and kind of gives a bigger push, more implications to kind of make changes. So we're hoping to make this a long-standing partnership with UCO Sustainability and Councilwoman Nice. And then we've also talked to, we have a really good relationship with Councilwoman Jo Beth Hammond, who is out of Ward 6, and then James Cooper. We are actually asking him to be the keynote of our sustainability summit in the spring, which actually brings together a lot of different universities and organizations in the state to talk about, sustainability as a whole and best practices. And so we're kind of using, it's really, really beautiful to have connections and relationships with our council people that they can come speak at our university. So we're hoping that this is something that we really have a lot of longevity and can, do joint programming together.
Awesome. So, second annual local food summit, that means that there will be a third. So how can students, people on campus, whether they're staff, faculty, get more involved with helping to plan the next local food summit, with the sustainability summit, with things like that, or just with Students for Sustainability and the Office of Sustainability in general?
Yeah, so much opportunities to get involved. And that's what's really so beautiful is that, that's what we've seen in these past couple of years is that there's so many people wanting to get involved with this process and make it, bigger and better. And we saw that this year too. There will be a third, and we're hoping to, like I said, secure some revolving funding for these types of events, the Sustainability Summit and the Local Food Summit, just kind of as ongoing endeavors for finding solutions. There's so many opportunities within the Office of Sustainability, and I've been such a beneficiary of all the resources. We right now offer paid internships for students in the Office of Sustainability to conduct research on any personal project, and mine obviously has been around food insecurity and sustainable food systems, but that's really where it all began, and kind of to see my project come to fruition now. But there are so many students in the office that are working on renewable energy campaigns or composting and food recovery, students that are working on different initiatives dealing with a lot of different things, Greek life and sustainability. So that's one way directly to involve students. Paid internships are really awesome for your resume, but not only that, to kind of support students monetarily, since, at a community college, so much of us are working full and part-time outside of our classes. You know this all too well. So that's a really great way to get involved. And the bigger that this local food summit is becoming, the more leadership positions we have available for students to plug into and kind of use their skills and their passions kind of in a way to see this event come together. So we're definitely looking for more people to take the lead on this event next semester, as well as the Sustainability Summit. For faculty and staff, the Office of Sustainability has an excellent sustainability faculty scholars program, which, since I'm the project manager for the office right now, I get to kind of help coordinate that. So we bring in guest speakers from the community, but also from our campus in different departments, and we hold kind of just space to have dialogue about different things that are happening and different opportunities for change on our campus. And that's an excellent way to get involved as a staff or faculty member. Now, other things that are happening with Students for Sustainability, they do so much awesome stuff at campus and community engagement, and we do about 1 to 2 outreach events per month where we're partnering with other student organizations and trying to divert waste a lot of the time. So we're doing waste diversion is what we call it, where we partner with a community organization called Fertile Ground. You probably saw them at the summit, and they do recycling and composting. We just did the International Festival, and we recovered 500 pounds. It was crazy how much waste we were able to recover. So there's always volunteer opportunities if any student is needing hours or just interested and passionate about sustainability. There's so many different events that they're able to get involved in that way.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here today. That does it for this episode of Above the Fold. Make sure you tune in again next time.